I put a little bit of gold on. Can you guys tell?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a question for you. Speaking of the makeup and all that, I was on another podcast before we started shooting. Do you think it's a form of catfishing if the only pictures someone that is interested in you have ever seen have filters?
Yes.
What?
I think when you meet somebody online or blind date or hook up, you should FaceTime immediately.
I do too.
FaceTime
immediately. In
because
today's day and age, absolutely.
I have a girlfriend. She had an online profile. He FaceTimed her. They talked for a couple minutes, and he never called her back again.
That's dirty word.
What do you think
That's
meant?
dirty word.
But she's so pretty.
Yeah. I don't know. I think guys, I don't know. I'm not a guy. I definitely haven't dated as an adult. But I just find that I don't think it's catfishing. I think you see me as I want to be presented to the world. And then when you meet me in person, if I look a tad bit different, I just look a tad bit different. It's still me in the pictures. It's just
your
enhanced.
actual height.
Well, that's a blatant lie. Like height, weight. Yeah. Even gender.
Or even if you take a picture from the chest up, you're not being brutally honest because it may be a little thicker at the bottom. And that's
or with the hat on, men.
Or with the hat on with the men, because some of you men without your hats.
That belly, here's the thing. I like a husky man. You know, I like backs. Be careful when
you say that too, because some men don't like to be called husky.
Mines don't. Yeah, he's actually going to have something to say about it. Gino Jones ain't husky. However, I like size, right? She want a big dog. I like size. It's the belly, the belly that sits and it's hard.
Like a pregnancy?
I can't imagine why men get those hard bellies. My grandpa got a hard belly.
That's cortisol.
He's 95.
And stress. Stress of wanting to be courted.
So if you follow our personal pages, you know that Keniece and I are both in real estate. I'm a senior mortgage loan officer with over 20 years of experience, and Keniece is a top producing real estate agent. Together, every day, we are helping someone buy, sell, or refinance their home. However, in the meantime, in between time, we like to have a little kiki. Decided to bring you guys in on our conversations because why not? Everybody has a podcast.
For real.
Ooh, talk about it.
First
of all, can we introduce ourselves? I'm Akeia. I am Akeia, one of your hosts for BeFn4Real Podcast.
I am Keniece, one of your hosts of BeFn4Real Podcast.
But back to it.
It's the cortisol. Mm-hmm. It's the big bellies come from, and it's mainly the big belly men.
It's the big belly men.
The cortisol
that
and
be telling
stress
you that you gain weight.
That tells you that you gain weight.
That belly hard.
And the belly is hard. And they want you
hairy.
To be fit and go to the gym.
Yeah.
But yet
if you let your belly get hard, my belly getting big and hard.
No, my belly not getting big and hard. I'm just gonna leave you.
I'm gonna let it go.
We're
gonna be rubbing big hard
Let your
bellies.
belly get big and hard. I'm out of here.
I'm
okay, because if I feel like I want to work it out and take good care of myself, you better take good care of yourself, or I'm out of here.
Yeah.
But those be the main ones that.
Then why is it so acceptable for like grandpas? Grandpas have big bellies
because they're 90. That's when it becomes cute.
It's cute.
It's the evolution of life. When you're older, you become like a kid. Like, oh, that's so cute. Yeah. In your 40s, and you have a receding hairline.
On top of the
and
it's
the
not
belly,
just one or the other. Hey, listen, I love aging. I love the way men
and
age.
The heavy,
I love
big
the gray,
jeans.
The grays. I love my baby. My baby, he's a little more fuller. He's a little more fuller.
The
now.
heavy big jeans.
The heavy big jeans.
And the big shirts or the tight shirts with the belly. And
belly is the culprit. The belly that sits, and I'm not talking about a little belly I'm talking about that big hard round belly. It's just something about it. But no, I feel you. I feel you. But you mentioned something. Men that like to be courted, and I know where you're going with this because we've had a few conversations. So I want to preface this by saying that I haven't dated as an adult. I got married very young. I got married at the ripe, young, supple age of 19. And so I don't know anything about the dating world as an adult, but I have plenty of single friends.
I know tons. I didn't get married until I was 32.
I've heard her stories.
Have tons of stories that I'll be sharing with all of you.
And from what I hear, the streets got potholes and oil slicks and
boo-boo, piss,
diapers,
tampons,
married men, married women.
It's
all of the above.
And married women also.
I heard the streets are nothing nice, but you mentioned courting. Do you think that courting should be 50-50? Do you think men and women should court each other initially out the gate?
No.
Or do you think traditionally the man should court the woman?
Men are men. Women are women. Women are soft. They're delicate. They're easy breezy. They are pretty. They're like a flower. Right?
Some are a little rough.
All women are, to me, are delicate and precious. It's something we are, scripture wise, and I'm not going to go there. We are the weaker vessel, right?
Very true.
The man is strong. He goes out and fight war, and he builds homes, and he's naturally he's a weak vessel, but we are weaker, right? So I think today men want to be courted and they want to be taken care of in a sense because social media has empowered them to believe that they're just as special as a woman. Kids. And that's not the case because years ago, many years ago, before your time, before my time, men went to families' homes and petitioned their way into getting the woman's
They
heart.
asked for a hand in marriage.
They asked for the hand in marriage.
They asked to date in court.
In marriage and prove that they can what? Provide.
Absolutely.
Now, cost of living today in 2025, we're not talking 1925. We're not talking 1825. We're talking 2025, right? Where the average price for a home is $650,000.
I paid $9.53 for eggs.
That's it, right? So it's not uncommon. It's okay for the woman to step in and help because I do. But the problem that I have is where some men are like, well, what are you going to do for me?
Yeah.
And still when they get the woman, they want her to cook, clean,
bear children,
suck, do all the things above. Yeah. And yet how much do you have on this? On this? Do you have half on it? And then they want her to go out into the world and work really hard and then come back and take the clothes off. Well, I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm tired because I'm contributing.
I'm contributing.
In most cases, especially if there's children in the household, it's just naturally not an equal division of responsibilities. Women are the nurturers. We're the mothers. We're naturally who the children go to when they're sick or when they're hungry or when they need, right? Fathers are the fun. Fathers are the disciplinarians in most cases. Sometimes. So women just bear the burden and we bear it well. We can handle it, but we bear the burden of so much. So to date you and you expect for me as the woman to send you a drink to show you that I have interest in you is wild. I mean, I guess some women do it. I don't come from that generation. For me to pay for our first date or pay for your dinner.
I'm not paying for the first date. We will go Dutch before I pay for you. But wait a minute. If I asked Timothy out, I don't know who Timothy is, it's just a name. If I asked Timothy out, I think it's my responsibility to pay for the meal. That's a very new age way of thinking. I still feel like if me and Tim are talking and we're hitting it off, and I just so happen to be like, we should go out sometime. Tim, you still copping a bill. Don't get it twisted. See, that's saying sometime. But if I say, Tim, what are you doing this Saturday? Meet me at the Cheesecake Factory.
The cheesecake.
They
be hating on the Cheesecake Factory.
I love the damn Cheesecake Factory.
My brother said he saw a girl on Instagram. He liked her picture. They hit it off. And he took her to the Cheesecake Factory. And she was just like, I'm insulted. They've got like 217 items on their menu. You can get anywhere from a burger.
The skinny chili.
To a jambalaya. Are you kidding
Gumbo,
me? The options are endless. I love me a Cheesecake Factory date.
But the women today,
they want Instagram worthy.
This conversation can go in so many different ways because I know I just said men
You
need
can take
to
me to Cheesecake
court,
Factory.
men need to court, men need to do all of the above and be men. But I do feel that women, their expectations are a little high or a lot high because of social media.
Because of
social media drove it up, and they're just like, I'm every woman, it's all in me, and that's okay. But at the same time, they're like, I want the man to take care and provide and bring all the money, and she's working at a less favorable place, bringing in, minimum wage. So what makes you think this quote unquote high value man would want to pursue you?
That high value, that gets them tussling in the comments.
That's Kevin Samuels.
I want everyone that is listening, send us some scenarios, send us some experiences where you think that maybe you over contributed, or maybe you felt like you were courting the opposite sex and it should have been.
Let me tell you something. I have paid for phone bills. I paid for hotels. I paid for lunch, dinner.
I've paid for hotels.
I have supplemented incomes while I was in my 20s when he lost his 7th job in a row. Just believing in a person, just kind of wanting to show.
But you were younger.
I was younger.
Listen,
but there
it
are
ain't
women
tricking
who do
if
it
you
today.
got it.
I didn't have it.
Oh.
But I did.
Is that the one that overdrew your account?
Overdrew my damn account.
Wow.
To go get his haircut.
Kids.
I had all of $100 in my account. He took $100 out, or 120
that
ATM, or something like that, and they charged
hit.
me the fee. And I got notified, and he told me he took it out because he needed a haircut. I don't know what haircuts in 2005 cost $120. But yes, I did that to show,
That's wild and crazy kids. I just don't think I would.
It couldn't happen today.
No, my God, you would have run me my money.
He did run me my money, but it's the fact that you went into my account and you took the money for a haircut and you didn't even talk to me about it. But that's because I set that expectation that I'm here and that I'm going to take care of everything. I paid car notes. Is that, did they call it car notes?
Now, was it mutual? Was it you paid his car note and sometimes he paid yours?
No. He did not pay my car note. He did not pay a phone bill. He didn't pay anything. You know what?
He had that good.
He did. But he did get me 2 pairs of shoes from Payless Shoe Source.
Bet.
You remember Payless Shoe Source?
Okay, they had the manila bottoms. I get it.
They hurt.
They hurt.
Maybe it's like $12.99, but Payless Shoe Source. He got me 2 pairs of shoes from Payless Shoe Source while I funded his whole entire life. But I did that, right? Because I want to show you that I'm there. I want to show you that I got your back.
Yeah, that's my man.
And it all blows up in your. If I ever hit the streets again,
it ain't happening.
So, but the modern day woman would not do that.
No. I like to think that I am the modern day woman, even though I have very, very traditional roles in my household. I'm very much independently married. I am successful in my own right. I have my own goals and I have my own career, and I take care of my family well, my children, but I still very much believe in, I want my own. Mm-hmm. We're not so far as separating bank accounts, and I feel like that's a topic I hear a lot of women talk about. I don't know. We have
different bank accounts. We do not merge. We do not commingle funds,
unless it has something to do with your home.
We do have a home account, but that's it. That's it.
See, I think because I've been married for so long and I got married so young, that just wasn't our setup.
Right.
But if I got married today, you wouldn't know what's in mine.
Right.
You just wouldn't. We'd have a singular joint, and I would have mine and whatever's in yours. And if you can swing what you need to swing, great. I'm gonna do me. I think I'm definitely more modern today with a traditional.
We have a house fund. We have a house fund that contributes to the house, any repairs, any fun things we do around the house.
But do you think the traditional woman is dying out?
Absolutely. We have to work too hard to be traditional.
Yeah. And we in these streets, we're confident, we're educated, we're successful, we're business owners. Do you know there have been the exposure?
They'd be like, what happened to the grandmas? What happened to the times
they just look different.
Where they cook and clean and Pawpaw had multiple families. Okay, he had Margaret and Ethel.
Yeah.
And he provided for both of those families while the wife cooked and cleaned and reared those kids. She didn't have goals. Ethel and Margaret didn't have goals.
Margaret wasn't showing up at Ethel's house, and Ethel wasn't showing up at Margaret's house.
They wasn't going to each other woman to woman until who was that? Was that Betty Wright? No, that wasn't Betty Wright. Who was that did that woman to woman?
Have you ever?
Shirley. Remember Shirley? Yeah. Anyway, so everybody kind of knew their roles.
Yeah.
So now it's like you want this woman that's going to work out. She's going to have a nice body. She's going to work.
Some do. I think some men don't
She's
even
going to
want that.
bring in the money. She's going to cook and clean. She's going to take care of those kids, pick them up from soccer, football, jazz, tap.
Manage the home.
And still want to lay it down.
Get that tap.
Roll over.
Not happening.
And want it, right? And desire it. While you get to just go to work and then I'm splitting everything 50-50. It doesn't compute. So let's just set the record straight. Men, women, let's all come together because social media is pitting us against one another, right? Let's just come together, hold hands and say, we are going to equally contribute to our homes. Wife, I want the booty from you. But if you don't want it, I understand. Ooh. So you know what? I'm going to cover the mortgage. January, February, and March, she gonna take them right off, guaranteed. She gonna take it right off and then say, you know what, I'm gonna take care of your car too because I want the booty all the time. No. Then it might be she
I mean, that's ideal, but you still not getting it, my man. That's just not how it's gonna work.
If my husband was like, I'm gonna take care of the mortgage all year long,
you busting it open every
day.
You a good wife, Savannah.
Because I'm not as tired, I'm not as bewildered, or just because I gotta get up and go to work all the time.
So would you be doing that? Are you more inclined to be more sexually active with your husband because he's paying for everything?
I'm not stressed out.
You're not stressed out.
I'm not thinking about clients. I'm not thinking about closings. I'm not thinking about all of those things. If you want to take care of all things house, who am I not to cook a meal for you? Who am I to not want to make sure you eat bread? If I didn't work, I'm going to work because that's just me. That's just who I am. But if I didn't have to work, my husband will get breakfast, lunch, dinner,
well fed.
And we would go at it maybe 3 to 4 times a week.
Okay. All right. I want to hear your thoughts. Leave us some comments. Let us know. I don't know if you're going to get anything from me.
But that's not happening because I have to work and I have to go. I have dual careers, 2 careers. So I'm tired. So, don't ask me how often anything because
he gets it when he gets it.
You catch me on the flip side if
Shoot. No, I hear you. I agree with all that. You just not getting it. That's not going to make me give you it any more or any less.
But
because that doesn't affect me.
That sits and wants to be courted, and a man that have all of these demands on women to do all of the things, it's a turnoff. Yeah. I'm glad that I'm not participating in the streets.
No. Those potholes are too big.
I can't do the streets. Have men and women. I think women too.
Mm-hmm. Definitely at fault.
Everybody need a reality check.
Yeah,
because some women will tell me if he ain't making X, Y, and Z or bringing in this amount, but then that woman lives at home.
You're a part-time CNA.
Or you're a part-time CNA.
Nothing wrong with being a CNA.
Nothing wrong with that, but I just think we need to stick to our zones. We're all assigned a zone. Okay, what does that zone look like?
Oh,
I'll go into it.
You're going to have to make this quick for the people because your zone conversation, it goes.
I think we're all assigned a zone. I think zones are based off of looks, occupation,
educational status,
hustle. I think we're assigned zones. So if you are a woman and you are a CNA, there's no knock to a CNA, and you may rent out a room and you have 6 or 7 kids.
Yeah.
The likelihood of
be tussling in the comments over this,
and that's okay. The likelihood of a 6'2", 260-pound, dark-skinned, bearded doctor is going to approach you. So it's just like we have to kind of, I have a zone.
I have a zone.
Right?
I've never
I'm in
not
a
gotten
zone.
someone that I wanted now. But everyone has a zone, and you can get zoned real quick.
I think you can get zoned.
Yeah.
So I just think we should look and say, okay, this is what I do. This is how much I bring in. So if I can get somebody who is just committed and can get up and go to work every day, whatever that is, a mechanic, a T-Mobile
Ain't no
store
knocking
manager,
the hustle, but you gotta hustle.
No knocking the hustle.
And it's got to be an equal hustle.
Then be okay with that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But sometimes we feel, because I have single friends, and sometimes they're like, I don't want a man with children, but you have 3.
But you have 3.
It doesn't compute. You see what I'm saying? So we have to stick to the zone.
And I think stop cutting yourself short. All this I don't want. You need to meet, explore, have conversations, because what you think you're not attracted to, it may be at the bottom of your list once you actually meet someone and hear them out and, experience them. Everyone has a list, and I think the list is cool. I guess that's what people are doing now with their list, but you've got to meet people, and who you think you attract.
A man has
you might
a list,
be humbled by that.
A woman has a list, and most of the time those lists don't come together. So that's why it's like, you're not good enough for me because you don't meet the list. When I was dating, we were long distance for 2 years. He was not where he is today financially, and we had to kind of meeting of the minds. When we met, he was living in a 2-bedroom apartment.
Girl, was his mattress on the floor?
Damn near on the floor. Wait, he had the box
I
spring.
always wanted to date someone with a mattress on the floor.
He had the box spring and the mattress on the floor. He had no furniture in the living room.
Jordans lined up.
I love absolutely.
It. Yeah.
And then in my home, my cute little 1-bedroom apartment, I had all the flowers.
Z
all
Gallery.
Of this in here is just it's me. So this is how my 1-bedroom apartment looked like. And he would come over, and he had a 1995 Mazda S6. He didn't have the Lexus that he has now, but we grew together, right? And I think that that's something that you need to think about. But at the age of 40, I'm not sure I would want to grow with anybody. I think I need you to have it together.
Or at least coming together.
Correct.
Very close to coming together. Like, it's there.
No, at 40, it needs to be together.
Yeah, I don't know.
At 40, it needs to be together.
I don't know.
But anyways, I digress. I can talk about this for hours.
I told you her zoning conversations.
You got to stick to the zone. Or if you're not that appetizing looks wise, I'm not going to say what's appetizing or not, but men and women, if you're not that appetizing, you got to stay in that zone.
Yeah, you got to date who wants you.
Correct.
Otherwise, you're just going to spin your wheels.
But a man can not look attractive and make a decent salary and be attractive.
It's facts.
A woman can look a certain way and make a decent salary, and the man still
I don't even think kids are a deal breaker for men anymore. I think the idea is women think, oh, I'm older and maybe have kids. I think men roll with that as long as you have everything else going. A man of a certain stature. You have everything else going on for yourself. I don't think kids eliminate a man's desire to be with you. I think the older you get, the more complicated your life is. That is what makes men kind of like, and vice versa. It makes women kind of like, it's too much going on.
When a man has a lot of children and a lot of baby mamas, it confuses things. It adds lots of conflict, and it's just stressful. We all over the place. This podcast is all over the place. We got a lot of conversation happening, but we are curious to know, what do you think about all of this stuff that we talked about? If there's anything that you'd like to add, please leave it in the comments.
Make sure to subscribe. We need your subscriptions. We want to grow this channel. We're starting off, so subscribe. We have an Instagram page. Make sure you go and like and follow. BeFn4Real. That's BeFn4Real _podcast on Instagram.
It's gonna be in the
all that good stuff is gonna be in the comments. But this was a good one. This was a good
really
one.
Good.
Relationships, dating. I'm just glad I'm not in it. Y'all can have it. Go home to my man.
It's just too
my
man.
But
we just let us know. We're excited to hear from you, and any other topics that you want us to talk about. Just go ahead and shoot it in the email. Send it to the email, and we will include it on the next segment.
Toodaloo.